Hey guys, if you've been watching my channel, you know that I love electric vehicles, and this is an ID.4 by Volkswagen, their newest electric SUV. Now, I found it at Boast Volkswagen in Bradenton, Florida, so big shout out to those guys for allowing me to film this vehicle. And today I'm going to take you on the tour of it. We're going to check out the exterior, interior, talk about the range of this vehicle, maybe check out a little bit of the performance of it. But if this is the first time we meet, my name is Matt Samolski. I'm Matt the Carguy. On this channel I do car reviews, so please check out the rest of my channel, smash that subscribe button, destroy that like button, and without further ado, let's get started. Well, let's talk about the front of this vehicle, because even if you had no idea that this was electric, you probably get an idea by this not having any grille, not any air intakes for the engine, which means there's no engine up in front in here. Now, there's electric motors, of course, on it, but here, we'll get to that. Now, as far as the design of it, you can see this big, bright LED lights, a very slick, modern design of both the lights and the vehicle. Now, it's not the most aerodynamic car. It kind of looks squarish, but I don't think it takes away from the look. I think it makes a difference. Now, if you look at Tesla Model Y, I mean, it's all nice, sleek. This one definitely stands out, looks like an SUV. Now, it does have a big Volkswagen logo, and maybe you see it, maybe don't, but there's a big LED strip that kind of connects those lights together. At the bottom of it, there's this grayish, bluish trim that's typical for this first edition, which is the one that we're looking at right now, and a little bit of an air intake that basically go into the wheel well, so that's more for cooling the brakes and then the engine. And that would be the front of it. We're going to move to the side, check it out too. Well, so the side view of this, again, it reflects the character of this vehicle. You can almost tell that it is an electric vehicle, and it's very German. It's very simple, but it's very polished. It's very modern design of it. Now, this is the first edition, and you can see it right here, right on this trim right here, and that kind of grayish bluish trim continues around the wheels as well as the bottom of this vehicle. Now, this one is equipped with the 20-inch wheels, and those are kind of a cool turbine design, and it's beautiful white color. Now, the only black accents in here are the mirrors as well as the roof of this vehicle that's painted black, and then you have a little bit of that polished aluminum railings all around it. Now, the door handles, unlike some of the other vehicles, are actual real door handles. Okay, and you can see it is equipped with this touchless keyless entry, so all you have to do is get close to this vehicle. It's going to unlock it. If you want to pull on the door handle, you can grab it and unlock the vehicle, open the vehicle without getting the key out of your pocket. Okay, so talking about the design, especially in the back, you can definitely see its uniqueness of this particular one. You can see those nice lights that kind of go across here, and they're encased in this transparent plastic, but they're fully LED lights, and they go all around here. Again, a big Volkswagen logo. Now, you've seen kind of the opposite of the front, the white on black versus black on white. It does have the ID.4 trim in here, and it does have kind of a long gate spoiler, and I'm not sure if this is not going to be too little to see from the inside, but we'll check it out once we get to it. It does have a tow hitch, tows about 2,200 pounds, so it's perfect for like a small boat maybe, or a jet ski. And let's see how much room it has once you open it. Right, so a couple things to bring up. It definitely's got plenty of room in the back, you know, behind the seat. It also has some storage compartment underneath here, and that is for this cargo cover that you can put away if you don't want to use it. And let's see what's down here. Now, down here is another storage compartment. That's where you can actually put your charging cable. So it comes with a charging cable for your home use. This is the slow charger. You can, of course, use the regular charging stations with this Volkswagen right here. But this, you can plug in your regular 110 volt outlet at home and still get it charged, let's say overnight or something. The seats fold down, but it does have this pass-through that in case you're going skiing or you have something longer to carry, you can actually utilize that. And that is it. That's the back of it. Let's check out the rear seat roominess in here. Well, so certainly no shortage of room in here. As you can see, I can fit comfortably behind the driver, who would be like me, 6 feet tall, seat adjusted to my regular driving position. I do have plenty of headroom, nice shoulder room, definitely, you know, enough knee room, and you know, this is for this 2021 ID.4. Now, let's check out the rest of this interior. It's dressed up in this VTEX, which is basically a man-made leather. It's called a VTEX leatherette, and it's very nicely fitted for the rest of the interior. So let's quickly take a glimpse of this interior. As you can see, that perforated and solid leatherette in here. This opens up, so you have cup holders. You can also open this up completely to have this pass through the trunk in case you need to carry something longer in here. Other than that, nothing crazy. You do have a couple USB-C ports and then the vents for the rear seat, and that's about it. We'll check where the magic happens. Well, let's hear that sound of the closing door. So you can hear that thump right here, very solid, like for a typical German car should be. And let's check out parts of this interior. So a kind of different look for the door. I mean, it's got all the functions on it, it's just designed a little bit different. Tricolor, you have a little bit of the white, gray, and black in here. You have the window controls and mirror controls. Now, how do you open the front or rear window? Don't you have the rear window controls? It says rear. So we're going to check that out actually once I get this vehicle started to see of what this is all about. Now, you also have the gate opener right down here, and then you do have a power driver seat, and then you have your memory seat settings right on the seat in here. Also, pretty cool feature, you see this ID perforated right inside of this VTEX leatherette in here, and then the interior looks pretty cool. Look at this. Now, these are front windows. Okay. Now, do I press? Aha, this is what's happening. That's why it says rear. It's all touchscreen. So normally when you press this, the front window will open up. But if you hit that rear button, then the rear window opens, and then you can control that. So not sure what the reason behind it was, but you know, that's something that's very different about this particular vehicle. So let's check out the interior of this ID.4. Now, this is the edition one, so this is the only one that you can get with the white steering wheel. It's kind of unusual, but it's actually pretty cool looking. And then there's a few features on this vehicle that are very different from anything else. So let's just get right into it. First of all, let's talk about the steering wheel. It is a multi-function steering wheel, and you have those buttons right here, so you can see that this is basically for your cruise control. And then you can make some adjustments as far as the distance between the car in front of you that you're following and yourself, your vehicle. This is basically for your media and phone, and there's different view modes in here. Now, there is a first edition, so that says that right on the steering wheel in here. And then on the left hand side on the steering wheel, you have a few buttons, and I haven't really figured out all of them yet, but you know, there's different modes, and this is a touchscreen, so this is pretty cool. So you can have lights in front that are turned on when it's cloudy and when it's raining, which is awesome. It's actually a law in many states to have that done. Different modes: auto, on, okay. These are the modes, and then you can see it switching right in here. So now you have the max rear window defroster and the front windshield defogger that are right here in front of it. And let's take a look at the screen right here. This is one of the two screens that you can see on this ID.4, and this is the smaller one. And basically, this is just the basic information for your for the driver. So it tells you that you have a 94 miles range, the vehicle has 682 miles, and then you see that which gear you're in. So now the parking brake is on, and then if you want to take it out of the gear, this is one of the things that makes it different than any other vehicle. The transmission shifter is right here, and to shift it in gear, you have to do it first of all, press your brake pedal, and once you do that, the vehicle comes alive. So you have a little bit more information in here. You have the miles per hour, you have the speed limit, etc., on here. But in order to put it in gear, you have to twist it, okay? and now you're in the drive mode, okay? And then you twist it the other way if you want to go in the neutral or reverse. You press this button right in here to go into the parking mode. And so this is very unique for the ID.4. I haven't seen that on any other car. Now, so before we move to the main screen, which is this 12-inch screen right here, let's check one other thing, which is pretty cool. In order to do that, we have to dive right in here. Check this out. Check out the brake pedal with the pause on it and the gas pedal with go. So go or pause. This is pretty interesting and very unique feature on it. Now, let's go back to this 12-inch screen right here. Now, I have the ability to play with it for just a little bit, and I gotta tell you, okay, let's go here, turn it off. Now you can see this screen, you probably recognize it is an Android Auto right here. You have my phone that's connected to it. Very nice, very bright screen in here. And by the way, this is a wireless Android Auto. You also have the wireless Apple CarPlay in here. But when we go back to the main screen and kind of explore the features of this vehicle, you can see that it does have its own navigation system, and once you press it, it's going to open up in almost the full screen mode. So you can set up your destination, you can see your contacts, etc., etc. And we'll go back from here and see what else is here. Now, I checked out the stereo, and you have to kind of trust me on this. The stereo is actually pretty good. I mean, it's not the greatest. I don't see any branding on it, so I believe it's just a regular Volkswagen stereo, but it sounds pretty good. And due to the copyright issues, we can't really check this out. So go back to the main screen, and what we can see: telephone, vehicle, Android Auto, sound, navigation, radio, media, ambient light, which it's very hard to see, but there's different colors that are available here, and you can see it looks good with blue, and it's changing to red. And if there's two colors, you can do like a two-tone or one if you'd like to. So a little bit you can see in here, but again, we're shooting in the bright light, so you can't really see that. But you can customize colors to the way you're liking. They can do a mood, ambient, mood lighting, infinity, eternity, desire, euphoria, vitality. So different modes or different moods that you can see. And then we'll go back here. This is a vehicle status. Just make sure you're okay. It says drive safely. And then you have the heated seats for driver and passenger. As far as the settings, you can do the system settings. That's basically screen time and date, language, more keypad languages, units, voice of operations, Wi-Fi, mobile devices, etc., etc. So there's plenty of different features that you can access through him. Now, this is the first time that I've ever played with this system, and it's actually pretty easy to use for the basic functions, at least. So that's for you, what you need for basic operations on the vehicle. As far as what's at the bottom right here, so you see that there's a temperature settings, and this is a pretty cool and very sensitive touchscreen. So you can see, okay, temperature, you can just slide your finger in here, or you can tap it, okay, it goes up and down. Okay, we're going to slide it. I don't want to be too hot in here. And then right here, this is your volume control. Okay, so audio volume. I'm going to turn that off, and then the temperature setting for the passenger. Now, what also you have here, you can go back. This goes back to the menu, parking menu. So it opens up the camera, and as you can see, it's raining pretty bad here in Florida. And what do we have here? Now, just a regular camera. It does have this picture of the vehicle from the top. So those are your parking zones, or the parking sensor zones, that will tell you whether you're getting too close or too far from something. What else you have here? You have your hazard lights, and you have your assist. Now this is assist for driving, I believe. Okay, so you have cars, so basically it's going to sense the vehicles in front of you, on the side of you. It's going to sense the road itself, and it's kind of going to help you in your regular driving. Pretty cool. Different drive modes: eco, comfort, sport, and custom. Those are the drive modes that are available in here. I'm going to try to remember and see if that assist feature actually works while driving. Now there's a little menu, so let's see what it has. lane keep assist, adaptive cruise control, lane change system, dynamic roads display, front assist, autonomous emergency brake, emergency assist. So basically the safety features that you can see in so many of the vehicles right now in here. Pretty good display here, pretty large. 12 inches is a nice size display for it. And as far as the rest of the interior, as you can see, I mean, it is kind of have that minimalistic design, if you will. Now, what I have in here, again, this is a pretty cool, very nice sensitive touch LED. Now you can open up that panoramic sunroof. Now this is a fixed sunroof, and we're certainly not gonna want to open it, like, because you can't anyways, but even if we could, it's pouring outside, so that's probably not a good idea. And let's take a look at the design of this vehicle, the seats. Okay, now this is leather-like material. It's not leather, it's a synthetic leather, and you can see it's got the ID, not embroidered, but kind of perforated into the solid leather. The seats are nice and soft, they're very comfortable. Cup holders in here, you do have 2 USB-C chargers in here. You also have the wireless charging that goes in here, and then you can set up these to the way you like that as far as the cup holders. Okay, so large gulp will definitely fit in here. You can also close that if you don't want to look at this. Regular glove compartment in here, and this is it. This concludes the interior portion of it. I can't wait to take it for a spin. Well guys, so as always, I'm going to take it for a spin. A couple of quick things before we do that. I just want to point out a few things. It's really roomy inside of here, and I'm very surprised of how much room I have, how big this windshield is, and how comfortable it is really to sit in here. As you know, I like electric cars, so let's talk a little bit about range on this vehicle. So the range, according to Volkswagen, can go up to 250 miles on full charge. And you know, so maybe it's not the most. I mean, you can see Teslas that are doing 400 miles or so. I mean, that's definitely a larger range, but for everyday driving, I mean, that's very similar to what the Mustang Mach-E is, for example, and it's about the same price. Speaking of which, you know, this is the Edition 1, which according to Volkswagen website, this is a sold out, so you can't place no more reservation on that, right under $45,000. And then there's an ID.4 Pro, that $39,995, that is starting to hit dealerships now, as well as there is an ID.4 Pro S, and that starts at $44,495. You know, the drivetrain is the same, it's just the different options that are available. So you can go to Volkswagen's website and kind of check out of what options are available on each one. It's a pretty cool vehicle. Let's take it for a quick spin. Let's see how it drives, let's see how it parks, how the turning radius is, and etc. I'm getting confused in here a lot of times, like when I put it in the reverse, the way you do it is you twist this little thing, so that will take a little bit of getting used to. But you know, as far as driving this, and I've driven it just a short time, but I've driven it around this parking lot and a little bit on the street, it's actually drives just like a regular car. We already checked out the rear view camera while going over the interior portion of this vehicle. I want to see of how tight the turning radius is on this ID.4. So I don't have my regular spots in here, there's no painted, but I can basically tell you of how many it's going to be. So steering wheel all the way, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe just a tad over 4. So I mean, it does have a pretty tight driving radius, you know. And as always, you know, with a lot of those electric vehicles, you know, acceleration is going to be one of those things where you can feel the difference between this and the regular car, and we're going to check that out here. Okay, so it's not overly aggressive. Now I didn't hit it all the way, but it can definitely pick up the speed, and I can already see that this assist is working, because when I was trying to switch lanes without the turn signal, sorry, that's exactly what I was trying to do. I was trying to keep me in my lane, which is its job, I guess. So that's a pretty decent feature. Now, I'm gonna turn this around, and then we're gonna check the acceleration on here. Okay, let's see. Now this is probably quieter than some of the other vehicles that I've driven, so it's definitely very soft, very nice ride on it. Great visibility, perfect family cruiser. I wouldn't call it a performance vehicle, but for cruising with your family, it's great. Definitely saves you money on gas. I'm not sure what the charging is. Now, if you know what the kilowatt hour cost right now, let me know in the comment section below, because that's important to see of how much money you're gonna spend charging it versus how much money you would spend driving a regular gasoline vehicle. Okay, let's hit it one more time. Definitely picks up really nicely. I like this. I mean, it's definitely kudos to Volkswagen for innovation, for designing something like this. And this is first of many. This is not the only one that they're planning to do. Now, this is the first one that came out, but next year they're coming out with the Atlas size electric vehicle, and a couple years, guess what, they're coming up with the van. You know, remember those Volkswagen vans, the Eurowagons, and those were super popular, and maybe the hippies, if there's any left right now, could go for the electric hippie mobile. That'll be pretty cool. Guys, I will give this vehicle a huge thumbs up. Again, thank you for Boast Volkswagen of Bradenton, Florida, for allowing me to film this vehicle and take a quick test drive. If you like watching videos like this, consider subscribing to my channel as always, and I'll bring you more content, I promise you that. And as always, I will see you in my next video. Cheers.